Greetings from Bangkok. It is a pleasure to speak to you about the planned activities of the UN Human Rights Regional Office for Southeast Asia as part of the Global Drive for Media Freedom, Access to Information and the Safety of Journalists in 2022. In Asia, as in other parts of the world, civic and democratic space is increasingly under pressure. The free flow of reliable information and the ability for people to access it, express themselves, criticize and debate is the cornerstone of any democratic society. For years, however, we have observed a rise in the scale and number of attacks against journalists and media workers, as well as curbs on their ability to exercise freedom of expression. This includes threats of prosecution, arrest, imprisonment, denial of journalistic access, and failure to investigate and prosecute crimes against them. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we have also documented new constraints on the media and seen legislation introduced to restrict information perceived by governments as critical of their policies. In response, our regional office has provided extensive support to women journalists and media workers in 2020 and 2021, in line with our mandate to promote and protect human rights, and specifically in light of the need to strengthen actors at the regional level. A few months ago, we completed a 10-month-long online training for 42 women journalists from 15 countries in Asia in collaboration with UN Women and in close partnership with UNESCO to strengthen their capacity to claim their rights and to access the existing UN mechanisms for protection and other means to increase their safety, including digital security. This year, as part of the Global Drive, we will launch another program building on the best practices of our pilot training program with 3 distinct but connected parts: an online self-learning program, a series of live webinars that will allow for sharing of experiences and shared learning, and in-person country-specific events, COVID-19 allowing. We will continue to share knowledge and opportunities to leverage protection through the use of the UN Human Rights Mechanism and explore concrete means to enhance protection of women journalists. This is a considerable challenge, however, and one we cannot face alone. The importance of our collaboration with UNESCO and other key regional partners cannot be overstated. We are also grateful to Sweden and the Netherlands for the support extended to this critical work. World Press Freedom Day reminds us how important the media is for democracy and human rights, and with your support we will continue to do our part to promote the rights and protection of journalists, media workers, and human rights defenders in the region. Thank you.
UNESCO in Africa has taken a multi-stakeholder approach when it comes to the implementation of the UN Plan of Action on the Safety of Journalists. This has been a concerted effort through mobilizing different stakeholders. For example, in 2018, UNESCO, with the support of the multi-donor program on freedom of expression and the safety of journalists, came together with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in Addis Ababa and joined efforts with the African Union and different stakeholders, including the African Union member states, the prosecutors, the police, and the judges. And through the recommendations that came from this meeting, several national coordination mechanisms for the safety of journalists have been established in Africa. For example, the Deputy Minister of Information from Ghana, who was one of the key participants in this meeting, continued with these efforts and did establish the National Coordination Mechanism for the Safety of Journalists in Ghana. This has proved to be one of the platforms where journalists have found very, very useful in addressing issues concerning the safety of journalists in the country. Out of this, a culmination of conferences and seminars and consultation at different levels, at sub-regional levels in Africa, at national levels, several national coordination mechanisms have been established in consultation with the duty bearers and the right bearers. We have also come together with African Union 4 bodies that were never part of safety of journalists mechanisms in Africa. And in 2021 January, the digital platform for the Safety of Journalists in Africa was launched by the President of Southern Africa, who was the chairperson of the African Union. This is just to say that efforts to implement the UN Plan of Action have only proved very, very successful where the different stakeholders have been engaged. And this is a process that we are using, again, to review and even to consult and identify the gaps on the UN Plan of Action with a view to strengthening this platform that has proved very useful.